Why being yourself is harder than it looks, but it's completely worth it. Hello and welcome to another video. The title is given up a bit of what I'm about to talk about, but that's the nature of things on this channel, where we talk about authenticity, where we talk about leaning in and trying to understand what makes you you and how you sort of drive value and share it with other people. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ali Khan. I am a designer. I've been working since the last 20 years in different fields as a designer, and I've been able to transition into different industries and managed to do okay. Uh, and I've recently gone or started this quest for leaning into my authenticity, and I just created this new YouTube channel, and I've started dropping videos every second day on it. I already have another YouTube channel with about 6,000 subscribers, but the whole idea was to create an authentic brand around who I am and what I stand for. And that's what I've been working on myself, and what I do over the past year. And this is what it is. So, going back to the topic of conversation, so why being yourself is harder than it looks, but it's completely worth it. Some of the most important lessons that I've learned over the years is not how you fix the world, but they've been mostly about how to fix yourself. When you fix yourself, everything else somehow seems a little better. Uh, the 3 points I want to sort of touch upon, and they're going to sort of form this picture in your head of why this authenticity is the only real thing that we can depend on going forward. And when I say authenticity, it's your authenticity. Number one, we are sort of told to be real, but everything else around us is altered. So nothing around us is real. However, we're all often told that, hey, you should sort of lean into your authenticity. But you look around and you see these amazing Instagram accounts with perfect everything. Same with YouTube, you see this amazing lighting, amazing sound, editing, graphics, everything that you can think about. And as you can see, I can do a lot of those things. My background is from design, but the whole idea of leaning into my authentic self was this idea that you're having a conversation with me. I'm not having this conversation with 1,000 people. It's just you and me. And probably if you were to walk in right now, this is how you would meet me, and this is how we would talk, right? Right now, there's the only source of light is a window, which is here, and I've just tried to, like, make the surfaces a little cleaner than they usually are. And I've just mic'd up because you deserve to hear what I say, or maybe not. And yeah, the rest is probably mostly 99.99% completely unedited, because the idea is for me to get the practice and the hang of it as well, right? And create my brand around this authentic self. So there's this concept of showing up polished or showing up raw. And right now, because of the social media pressure and the images that we are bombarded with, there's always this idea that wherever we show up, we should show up polished. However, I would like to disagree with that concept, and I think there is something really, really endearing about showing up as raw. And what I mean raw, don't sort of mistake it with unprepared. So raw is not unprepared. Raw is about leaning into who you are, and basically focusing on essentialism, which is a concept that focuses on doing more of the more important things and doing less of the lesser important things, right? So focusing on the most essential. So this idea that we show up raw is something that resonates with me. And raw doesn't mean that you're not prepared for what you're about to talk about, or not prepared with, let's say, the work that you're getting into. So the idea is that there's this low-key rawness about you that makes you you. And we've been conditioned, as in when I say we, you and I, we're conditioned to sort of somehow reward being polished. So it's always like, I recently had a daughter. She's beautiful. She's changed my life. Partly the reason that I sort of had the time to look into who I was and lean into my authenticity was because of her. Uh, and so she, when I think about uh, rewards, and I feel like, when I was young, my grandmother would, brush my hair and then say, nice and clean, and say, oh wow, now you're so nice and clean, I'm going to give you a sweet. So there was always this idea of like, being rewarded for being looking perfect, having the perfect hair, having the perfect clothes, to a point where I developed this sort of like semi phobia of not getting my hands dirty. And I stopped like touching things around because I wanted to be rewarded for being perfect. And that's very counterintuitive for someone who's always been really hands-on with things. And my father is also an architect, he's a designer, he's a painter, sculptor. So I'm used to seeing dirty hands with ink, paint, and other stuff on it, like even like clothes full of those rubber shavings. I don't know how many of you even know what an eraser or a rubber was. Anyway, the second point is really, really scary, and it goes something like being yourself makes you face yourself. Just think about it. All this time, we have this makeup on, and the irony of the situation is that most of the times you can't see what we look like, but the other people can, and we sort of tend to forget that we're putting up a show. Uh, the idea that when you lean into your authentic self, and when you try to sort of talk about authenticity, and we talk about what makes you you, uh, it comes with this whole new baggage of facing yourself. And it's like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you start to see the imperfections, the things that you don't like, the things that you've been running away from. And a lot of people have unresolved traumas or unresolved challenges that they haven't really worked through. And most of them are like maybe an idea of what they think they should look like at their particular stage. So for me, maybe it was about being fit, and for men, it's about hair, it's about the body, it's about a lot of different things. It's about strength, it's about maybe the muscles, and with age, we need to deal with all of these things because being authentic means who you are right now, and being authentic means that it's okay to change with time because that is what time is all about. So for men, big security with time is losing their hair, and it's mostly genetic, and it's about graying hair. So there are these layers upon layers upon layers of these insecurities. But the hardest part about being yourself is facing your own judgment of yourself. And it might sound counterintuitive, but what I've realized through my process is that my biggest critic has always been myself. I've always criticized myself more than anyone else out there. So it's me standing uh, in my way most of the times. And when the camera becomes the mirror, it becomes really difficult to then oversee some of the so-called shortcomings and challenges that you observe. And this mindset comes in really handy where you are always focused on what is the most essential. I'm gonna really deep dive into essentialism and sort of break it down into why it's very important in order to get closer to your authentic self, the core, the foundation, the rock where you stand on and who you are. Well, the most important thing about being yourself and your authentic self online on social media is that the right people find you when you are being yourself, and that is the key. Uh, the algorithms are changing, and there was this idea that we create a tribe. A tribe was made up of subscribers, and the same that happened to me when I started the Design Hustle channel. It was mostly to do with other designers, and I was sharing tips and tricks about architecture, about design, UX design, project management, process management, all these things that I had sort of worked for me over the years, right? There came a time in my life that uh, the people that I was creating this content for just grew up. It's just because I started the channel in 2017, I think, 18, or I would just drop a video every now and then, once a month or something. And I realized, even I did not enjoy exactly talking to that crowd, so and and when I sort of dug deep into the type of content I wanted to do, the type of content I wanted to focus, the people that I wanted to help, um, they were totally different. And one way is to try to assume that you sort of somehow go out onto the social media channel and try to get those people to hear you out. The other way is the new way. Um, Gary Vee also touches upon this. There's so many other people who touch upon this, and the idea that discoverability in this day and age has really, really skyrocketed. And what do I mean by discoverability? That means, like, if your content is good, if your content is authentic, it somehow automatically goes to the right people. So if we have any common sort of denominators, if we sort of feel the same way in a world where we feel lost, where we feel like we don't quite belong there in the right way. However, there's so much more that we can do, so much more value that we can add with the right people. But where are those people? So this is why I feel, when you are being authentic online, it's a process. Of course, it takes time and effort, and the whole idea that you need to improve every single time that you're doing this. Of course, all of those things go without saying. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be difficult. All of these things are going to be there. However, uh, the premise is really interesting. So sort of leaving these videos or these breadcrumbs, it sort of attracts the right people, and then you try to grow as a tribe together, and then you can end up helping each other up. And it's this idea of showing up truthfully, and making sure that try to be as honest and as original as possible, instead of just rehashing other people's ideas and saying what they're saying all the time. Is just having a conversation with someone, just take some time out and see what it feels like. And mostly, I promise you one thing, you will end up having a conversation with you. And these were the 3 points I wanted to talk about. And if you hear someone snoring, that's Galileo. He's my black Labrador. He's sleeping down under the table. He likes to do that. And the other one, Jack, I have two Labradors. The other black one, he's in the other room, because then he likes to wake him up, and then I won't be able to record all of this. So, anyway, thank you so much for sort of watching this video. I am on this journey of starting a new YouTube channel and reaching out to people like you and sharing the whole process with everyone. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I am 100% sure I'm going to find the right audience that can help each other get there. Thank you so much. on to the next one.